Welcome to this tutorial on using the Adobe Connect system. We will have sent you a web address which is also available online in the course space, which you should go to at the time of the webinar, preferably 15 minutes before. And here you are asked to enter as a guest. There are two options. One is asking for a login. This system is separate to the course space we are using, so we ask you to log in as guests. And for the demonstration purposes here today, I will just log in as a facilitator and enter a room. And there should, less than a minute, there should be a pop-up which loads the actual meeting room, and it's appeared on my other screen. If I just drag it across. So once logged in, this is what you will initially see, and you can see here that there's one host already in the room, and that's me, just in a different session. And there's one participant, the facilitator. I've logged in just now as a participant, a guest. And what guests can see is the share window, which is where a PowerPoint would be, for example, or a PDF document. The video window, the attendees window, and the chat window, where people can have textual discussions with the group or with individuals. So really, guests have very limited options. An option they do have is to test their audio, which we also recommend facilitators do, and that just tests if your speakers are working and if your microphone is working. We advise using a headset, as this helps prevent feedback of sound coming out of your computer going back into your computer. So we advise using a headset, and we strongly advise carrying out the audio setup wizard, which will make sure that your audio devices are working as they should be. Another feature that guests have, or participants, is to raise their hand to agree or disagree. So at times within the webinar, the facilitators can ask questions as to whether people agree or disagree, and you can tell participants to indicate using the raise hand feature, or simply by typing something in the text box like this. So I said you'd log in as a guest, and then we would promote you, the admin team would promote you to have presenter access. And really, I'll do that now just to show you how it works. So I'm logged in here as a host. If I hover over your name, make you a presenter, and then I'll just go back to that other view to show you what can be seen now in that presenter view. So you can see now facilitator has been made presenter, and now these options are available. There's the option to start the webcam, and when you start your webcam, you will initially get a preview. If you're happy with the way you look, you can press start sharing, and you will share your video. Immediately you can see there that icon has turned green, which means you are sharing your webcam. You can stop that by clicking on the icon, and it's back to preview mode, and you can start sharing. If I start sharing again, you also have the option to pause. So you can pause with your image there and just continue presenting without a live camera feed, or disconnect it entirely by using this drop down and pressing stop my webcam. So that's the webcam. You can also enable your audio, which you should. Right now you're hearing me through an alternative system as I record this, but on the day you will have to enable your mic, and that should be green. When it is green, you can see the microphone icon there as you speak, and you can also mute it by clicking on the green icon, and then you will see a red line through the microphone. You can disconnect it entirely using the drop down, and you can adjust things like the microphone volume. But if you did the audio setup wizard initially, that would help you to correct things such as microphone volume. So if you've shared the PowerPoint with us in advance, we can upload it for you on the day. Alternatively, you can share your screen using this drop down if you're wanting to show things that are on the internet. You can also share documents. You can share things like PowerPoint, PDFs and images. You can't share Word documents. So in that instance you would have to share your screen. Share a document. So if I share something that I've previously shared, once that's shared, you've got this option here which shows you your sidebar and your notes. These notes aren't visible to participants, so if you wanted to have notes as you talk through slides, that is absolutely fine. And you can navigate through using these arrows. So as I do that, it's also in this facilitator window, and that is because of facilitator access. If I demote that facilitator account, and just to show you what participants see, so here in this host, or it's a very similar view for presenters, we can see the slide, we can see the notes. Within the student view, they can also only see the slides. They don't have the option to move. They don't have the option to move the slides. The only option they do have is to, for example, raise their hand. And by raising their hand, the facilitator gets a notification, and you can say approve. And by approving, it automatically gives the facilitator, the student, an ability to talk. But this can be disabled, or you can recognize somebody raising their hand in the text box and just say, "We noticed so and so's raised their hand. What would you like to say?" Another piece of advice we have for you on the day is, if somebody else is talking, to mute your microphone, as this may affect what participants can hear. So if somebody else is talking, just make sure that there's a red line through your mic, and if it's your turn to talk, make sure that there isn't a red line through your mic, and that there isn't a line through the icon here. So really that's most of it. If you want to stop sharing, you can. You just hit the stop sharing button. So we will be mainly using this share screen. Again, we advise you to check your audio. Everything else, hopefully, we will manage. If you share PowerPoints with us in advance, we will load those into the system, and we will be present with you here as hosts to facilitate any technical issues, or if you want to change the layout, for example, to have a bigger video window. So for example, if at the end you are having multiple discussions, we can have this set up in advance, or very quickly on the day, if there's a request to have multiple views, we can do that fairly quickly, like so. And then you can enable multiple cameras. For example, you could have 3 cameras there, and people answering questions, and a discussion below. So it may be that we choose to use this at the end of a presentation session for a Q&A period, where a visual isn't required, and it's more useful to be looking at the people who are talking. So I hope this is of some use. Please if you have any questions, send them to me, and I'll answer them and follow up by email. Thank you.